Quiet in the room.
So, thank you all for coming. As you all know, the global warming issue is being forefronted in this election campaign, and I think it is being done rightly so. We really need to focus on becoming energy independent, especially from the Middle East. We are spending way too much money on gasoline. Also, it is the gasoline that is fueling the emissions that go into the atmosphere. By finding alternative ways of energy and of transportation, I believe that we can together strive in uplifting America and fighting off global warming in collaboration with all the other nations. And also, by doing this, we also be fighting the terrorism that is plaguing our nation since the Bush administration.
Congressman Paul. Good afternoon.
I'm sure you understand my positions are a little different than my other candidates here, but I have to say that freedom only exists where there's complete respect for rights of property ownership. When we go to another's land or home or business, we should expect to be bound under the rules and the conduct of how they choose. We aren't able to pollute another's land or water or air freely. In fact, our government should take a stand and support our citizens in protecting those rights. Someone can build a factory, but if that affects their neighbors, then they've crossed a serious line. And our government should and will uphold those rights. And it's simply not a pro-property rights, pro-environmentalism situation. It's much more complicated. However, when property rights are respected, environmental concerns fade. In a free market, no one is allowed to pollute his neighbor's land or his water, and you can sue, like I have mentioned. And after paying damages, after paying damages, the polluter's production and sales costs rise, acting as an incentive for him to produce and perform in a more legitimate way. And in terms of energy, I once again stick by my free market stance in that providing America with new reliable energy is not the part of the government. If it's viable, if it's reliable, if it's clean, then the market will take advantage and they will promote it by itself. There's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with promoting nuclear energy because the market will speak. If it works, then it shall work. And on top.
Mayor Giuliani.
All right, I'm first off wanting to say that we're really happy that we got that stem cell debacle, under control and that duplicate was taken out. So we shouldn't be listening to that person in the news saying that he's not running because the real Giuliani is here today to give you this information. But anyways, getting back to this, the problem with the environment, I do believe that we as a nation need to realize that the scientists are correct and there is global warming. We as humans are contributing to the climate change and we need to try to fix this. We need to fix this problem by pursuing our quest for energy independence. Instead of spending money on oil from our enemies, we should spend money on alternatives with the same focus that we spent as a nation to put a man on the moon. What I think is that we should we should use all the money that we would save for being dependent on OPEC, and we could use this money to go to funding such research programs. With my fair and simple tax reform, that will be lowering the bureaucratic business that will be going in towards the tax fund, and we'd be able to use this money to be looking for alternative sources of energy that will be able to work for our nation. Yeah, it's great.
All right. Global warming is a global issue, and that's why we need to support the Kyoto Protocol. We also need to promote other countries to join the Kyoto Protocol, such as China and India. Within America itself, we need to preserve our national parks. This is part of our environment, and as our stewards of the earth, we should preserve the national parks. For the EPA, we need to have harsher guidelines. I want to make the EPA a board of the cabinet so we can have more consistency with them, harsher guidelines, and make sure they are following all regulations.